Ladies and gentlemen, the day is February 24th, 2022, and I got a special video for y'all today. Now, the gameplay you're seeing in the ring is Chris Chan fighting Wings for Wings' LOLcow championship, and Chris hasn't really done much to earn a championship match, but it's Christian Love Day, guys, and I felt like it was a good gift to Chris to put him in the ring and give him a shot at immortality. And then later on in the video, after this match concludes, I have another special, basically a whole second video for y'all after this gets done, so look forward to that later. But yeah, the day is finally here. Christian Love Day, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you feel the love in the air? Like the remaining love from Valentine's Day just coming back and just giving it one more shot before it goes away for a full entire year. It's just a great, great day. But it's not a great day for Chris Chan, because it's his 40th birthday today. He just turned the big 4-0, and he's spending that shit behind bars. And rightfully so. Like, don't get me wrong, I've said this since I started making these Chris videos. What Chris did is fucking terrible, and Chris needs to be behind bars, and if he doesn't realize the error of his ways, he needs to be behind bars for a lot longer. And with all these letters I read, I'm not gonna lie, Chris does not feel like any type of guilt for this at all. He's just trying to cope, he's just trying to call himself God, he's just trying to say what he did was to, spiritually enhance Barbara or some weird shit like that. And he's adamant, like he is in every letter, talks about how he will go right back to the Sonichu Temple. And like, the Sonichu Temple, if you didn't know, is his fucking house now. That's what he calls his house. And, he thinks he's just going to get out of jail after doing what he did to his mom and go right back home and live with his mom again. And I've seen people in my comments tell me, yeah, well, with how fucked up the justice system is, that probably will be what happens. But with all this now, like, speculation coming out that maybe Barb's, like, other family had gone to the house, cleared it out, and there might not even be a house left for Chris to go back to, like, it's puzzling here. Because there's a lot of shit going on in Chris's life that he may not even be aware of. And the only thing he's aware of is trying to basically say, what he did was right. And that all the haters and fakes and trolls need to just fuck off and stop getting involved in his business. And to Chris, that's the real problem here. The problem isn't that he did what he did. It's that, the trolls are still around and the trolls reported him for doing that. And that all ties back to it's Chris's 40th birthday. He is 40 years old and he still believes these things. And I've said it before, we all know damn well that Chris, he will never mentally mature enough to maybe realize these things are wrong. But then what do you do? Like, do you just keep him in jail forever, or do you just send him back home and say fuck it? Like, it's a tough cookie they gotta crack. But I think one of the things I really wanted to talk about was from day one when Chris got arrested and these continuances started piling up, there had always been speculation, would he be in jail for Christian Love Day? Would he be in jail for his 40th birthday? And yeah, he is, and I would love to, I would genuinely love to be a fly on the wall and wonder what the fuck Chris is doing today. This is probably like the moment where if there's been any, like, I think Christmas was the other one, maybe Barb's car accident, but this might be a sobering moment in jail for him to be like, fuck, I just turned 40. But, maybe I'm giving, once again, I think I might be giving Chris too much credit. We just talked about how he's not really old enough and, like, mentally able, no, I'm sorry, not old enough. He's damn sure old enough, but he's not, like, he doesn't have the mental capacity to understand these things. So I don't know what Chris is doing in there, what he's going through, but whenever these new letters come out, I'll be sure to update y'all, because I'm imagining we'll find out then. But that's the other thing, too. Chris's letters have really slowed down over the past month, and a lot of people I saw were speculating that could be because Chris is like, I don't know, can they take that right away from him? Like, like I said before, you know me, I don't know how the law, the justice system, all this shit works. I don't know if they can take away that right from you or not, but I mean, shit, Chris said in one of those Kangol letters, or maybe it was the letter to that dude, Bazaar, one of the two letters, he said that he's received, like, over 70 positive letters. So if he received over 70 positive letters, how many letters do you think he received in general? Like, it's... Jesus, like, I wonder if they've, like, obviously jails have dealt with, like, quote-unquote celebrity inmates where a lot of people are writing to them, but I mean, this has to be something where they're just like, what the fuck? Like, what are all these letters for, and why are they all so batshit insane? So I don't know why the Chris letters have stopped, but once they pick back up again, we'll cover them if they're actually like there's some good funny shit in there. Because mostly some of these newer, like not even the newer letters from like the past, I would say letter 6 onward has just been nothing but God ramblings. And to be fair, the first 6 were God ramblings too, but it was kind of original then. Now it's just the same shit. It's just clicking to me now that Kane had just tried to interfere and help out Chris Chan. So I guess Kane's a big Chris Chan fan, and he likes Christian Loveday. I don't. I swear to Christ, and you couldn't make it up any better. I did not plan that for Kane to come out, then Undertaker to come out. I don't know how this happens every time I have a random play game. You guys have seen this before. Other guys have come out, but yeah. Kane apparently loves Christian Loveday, and The Undertaker hates it. But Chris basically just said, fuck you, Undertaker. I'm no selling your shit. And Chris just jumped right back up and is giving Wings the works. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Chan is about to hit the Sonichu's edge, and this could be it. Chris could be the fucking champ right here. This is a monumentous moment if Chris is to win the belt on Christian Loveday. We got a 1, we got a 2, but we don't got enough, and Wings still pushes through, ladies and gentlemen. For years, and I don't know where, so I can't really give you guys a source. I would just say in the comments of a lot of Gino's documentary videos, and in the comments of the Sachimo documentary, I remember seeing people say, I wonder what Chris Chan will be like once he hits like 30. Once he hits like 40, will he still be a virgin with rage? Will he like still be obsessed with all this Sonichu shit? But I never saw anybody, and I don't think anybody did make the assumption that, Chris by that age will think he's fucking God. Chris will be locked up in jail, and he'll just be jailbird Jesus. That's that simple. But we've come a very far way from a video I'll show you later on, from the beginning of Chris's story to now, where he's just, just sitting in jail, just doing whatever he's doing. And, this is kind of a dark, topic to bring up, but with all of the shit, Chris's letters have kind of stopped, but, it's only been a few weeks. Those shits could pick up at any point. But obviously Chris has no, online, he can't get online right now. And once he gets out, he'll obviously be online again. But there is a small possibility that this man could be institutionalized, and if that's the case, then that's the end of all the Chris content. But, it would probably make his mom safer, so, I guess it evens out. I've talked before about Barb, she's not the best type of person, but I'm not trying to sit here and watch her get, fiddled on by Chris. It's just you can't wish even your worst of enemies that fate. And, Barbara Chandler's never done nothing to me. She's just kind of insufferable in some calls. Other than that, do I really wish bad upon this woman? No, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about her or Chris, but would I rather not see her get that done to her? Of course. What? And, I really feel like if Chris gets out, if the speculation I hear a lot of people, and even myself, kind of thinks is true, is that at the next continuance, they'll say Chris has basically had a year sentence, he's already had time served, and he'll get out. I hope to God that's not the case, but if it is, man, it's gonna be troubling. Because now we got Chris, who's probably, more wanting to get out than ever. Because when he first got in there, those first couple months, he had talked about wanting to get out, obviously, but it was more just, I'm learning to adjust in here. I'm learning to make ramen. I got a Turkish prayer rug. I guess he was basically trying to say, my cell looks really nice. And that was it was all right, Chris, I guess he's he's taking jail in stride. But in more recent months, he's been talking about, protest for his release and get Biden to, sign off on his release, while at the same time also saying that he's Jesus and that all this will be done any day now. And Chris already knew this was going to happen and knows what's going to happen in the future, but he still needs our help to get him out of jail, because why the fuck not? So I guess my closing point in this is that, yes, Chris is now today a 40-year-old man. And earlier I made the point that, Chris will never mentally be able to understand the error of his ways. And I don't want that to sound like me saying, oh, he can't understand, so should we blame him? No, because Chris still has enough of a mindset to want to go to a fucking, he was gonna drive all the way across the country to go to what's it called, that the Pony Fest or whatever the fuck. And it's type of shit like that makes me think, Chris really can, when it comes down to things he wants, he'll be in the perfect mindset for it. But with him now thinking he's Jesus, saying all this weird shit, there's no reason for him to be out of jail and back at that household, but we'll see what happens when the time comes. I guess still got about 6 months, but today is Christian Love Day, so even though I'm talking about a lot of like sketchy theories here on Chris, the end goal of today, ladies and gentlemen, is love. Love is all around us, and you got to embrace that shit. And I think Chris is embracing love right now in the ring by just taking it to Wings. And I think we're about to see another Sonichu's Edge here, and if that's the case, this could be over, and Chris really may have won this title this time. But that's just the end of this section of the video. But I hope you guys enjoy what I got coming next for y'all. But as for right now, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Chan is the Locals champion. He's ended Wings' reign. Now, Wings had fought some real stiff competition. He won the title from Clyde Cash. He fought Ethan Ralph. He fought Ringo Starr and Shingo Takagi. He fought the Pepsi Man, Wendy from Wendy's, and even EDP 445. But he just couldn't stop Chris Chan on Christian Love Day. And that's something I think everyone can learn. You never try to slow Chris down on Christian Love Day because he's unstoppable. And even our friend, we always used to ask, who can stop the path of Wings? Well, the rage of Chris Chan can, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, that was that. And fuck, I guess happy birthday, Chris. Don't like, I don't know. Who gives a fuck? Just, have fun in jail, Chris. But here, Chris is like being a complete dick and not having any good sportsmanship, goes to whack Wings with the belt, completely misses, and yeah, there you go. So, Chris is just going to be celebrating this shit, and he hopes you all have a very good Christian Love. Wait a minute, is The Undertaker back? Oh, Chris is fucked. No. Even the ref's getting out of there. He knows what's about to go down. And Chris Chan's seen a ghost from Chris's missed past. My God, ladies and gentlemen, I think we just found our next title challenger. And shit's about to get real. So like I told y'all, I have a second video basically here, which is something I couldn't decide. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to have Chris fight for the title, or I couldn't decide if I wanted to have something else. And so I just decided, let's throw both of them in together. So with this next upcoming video, we always talk about the darkest days of Christery, and I even have a playlist in my thing that I've neglected completely called The Brightest Days of Christery. So I guess one of these moments here, this could be considered the beginning of some sorts. Nonetheless, I can't really do it justice. Let's just, we're going to react to this video, and I hope y'all enjoy it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and dudes of all teenagers, as well as the gals. My name is Christian Chandler. I am here, and y'all are there. This message is for everyone of the present and the future beyond this date, February 24th, 2007. My birthday, my 25th birthday.
So we're going to jump in a time machine and go back 15 years, ladies and gentlemen, to the day. And we're going to look at Chris's message to the future on his 25th birthday. Now, a lot of the info in this has really proven to be true over the past 15 years. Chris is like a fucking, an oracle? I don't know. Chris is just, it's so much wise knowledge in this. And I hope you guys just can absorb some of it like I'm going to over the next 10-15 minutes.
I am high-functioning autistic, and in my 25 years, I have seen and learned so much. And today, I intended to share some wise words that I hope each and every one of you will take to heart and allow for yourself and everyone else a better, brighter future. First off, remember that going to school is not a torture. It is a place of learning, a place for growing, a place where you form the spelling of your own opinions, your own feelings, and your own personality.
So right here, Chris wants to give the future youth of this country an important message to stay in school and don't think school's fucking boring, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know who he's referring this to. I don't know if it's like elementary school kids or high school kids. Nonetheless, in elementary school, we used to light shit on fire, and in high school, we used fire to light our cigarettes in the bathroom. So Chris is right. It completely shaped the person I am today, and you guys should listen to it too. Whatever you learn in school, fucking take that and make it your personality. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
So learn everything you are able to and grow with it. Now, You should also be able to try something for yourself before forming praise or detest of it. As long as those things will not harm you or shorten your lifetime in any way, it's totally cool. What is totally not cool, though, is thinking or doing these things which are very harmful to you and definitely will gross out those around you that don't do it, because I haven't done it and I don't like it doing either of them. You should avoid at all costs smoking, drinking alcohol, and intaking similar icky, dangerous stuff.
It will definitely gross out those around you, especially those who don't do it, because I haven't done it. You know, Chris is one of those guys in high school, his gal pals, I guarantee you, this is you remember that picture of his gal pals at his 18th birthday? His gal pals definitely went into the woods later that night to a kegger and got plastered. And, it was, that type of shit was probably happening all around Chris back in high school, and he was too, naive to realize that. However, if you're not down with smoking or drinking, more power to you. I wish I could stop fucking smoking. I wish I could stop doing that. But, if you can take Chris's advice and stop doing it, the more power to you. Please go ahead.
And smoking will eventually cause cancer, and you'll be more likely to get heart attack, viruses, and your life will be cut drastically short.
Another great point from Chris here, I agree to that. Even though I'm a smoker myself, Chris is right. This shit's really dangerous and it can fuck your life up. But do what Chris does, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do what I do. Don't smoke cigarettes. Just drink copious amounts of soda, eat copious amounts of fast food, drink a whole fucking 2 liter a day. Who cares? That's the way you stay healthy.
They don't call cigarettes and cigars death sticks for nothing other than killing you slowly. If I could, I would take every last ounce of tobacco, put them on a rocket, and shoot them up to the moon.
I just imagine the rocket going up to the moon and burning up in the atmosphere, and then all the cigs burn up too, and then we're just constantly surrounded in a giant plume of cig smoke. And then what would you do then, Chris? Then we'd have nothing to breathe in but cig smoke. It'd be like constantly living in Beijing.
And for alcohol, they'll cause liver dysfunction, kidney failures, and not only that, but when you get drunk enough, bar fights and automobile accidents. So it's a real slow-acting poison.
Kidney and liver problems are something you can have too by living on the diet that Chris has. Bar fights, either just don't go to that specific bar or learn how to fight. And the drunk driving one is fair because that's a risk no matter where you're at, because pieces of shit always do it and can put your life in danger. But if you're the one doing it, getting drunk just to do that, you kind of deserve whatever happens to you, but you could hurt someone else, so fuck you. I don't really know where to go with this one. Just, Chris has a point here, fuck drunk driving, I guess. I don't know if that's what he's saying, but that's what I'm saying. Fuck drunk driving.
And I haven't done either one, and look at me now, I'm fit as a fiddle, and I'm living 25, hoping to live on to be about 80 to 100. And hopefully y'all will get a chance to get up to that ripe old age as well. Now, among the better things you should definitely try before despising is some of the hobbies of those of your own opposite gender. Like, for example, if you're a young gentleman, I recommend buying yourself a My Little Pony figure of your favorite color or whatever.
So this is that classic part of the video that I assume most people have seen when Chris brings out a pony and says that, if you're a guy and you want to get in tune with how girls feel, play with My Little Ponies and shit, Chris is 25 years old, and I guess his, well, no, to be fair, this is directed at boys and girls and dudes of all teenagers. But, for Chris, he's saying if you're a high school student, what you want to do is go out and buy a My Little Pony and just, that will teach you how to get a girlfriend. So, yeah, good advice.
Now, stroking the hair of said pony is very relaxing and therapeutic, and also rubbing it against your cheek. That's nice. And also, you can pretend that the pony is that girl you want to take out too. You want to take out sometime, and talk to the pony like you would talk to the girl.
I think it goes without saying, but if you're a dude in high school or even a dude who's having trouble picking up women, don't fucking do this. This just doesn't help you out or just make you look like a weirdo.
Now, for the ladies, I recommend a good old Autobot from Transformers. because you can get to learn how to examine the mechanics and variations of each and every, of the autobot you have, like you would learn how a man works, and it'll allow you to feel more comfortable in approaching and talking to that boy you've been flirting from a distance, or just been flirting with from a distance, and hopefully all you have to do is just end up and say hello. It's not so hard. All you have to do is say hello to the man, ladies. That's all, and everything will just get rolling from there.
So this part right here is basically just Chris saying what he exactly wants and how he thinks a relationship and just communication between guys and girls should go. He says that girls should pick up a what's it called, an Autobot, a fucking transformer, learn how it works so that you can kind of take that and learn how a man works. I don't know what you can buy anything and learn how it works, and I guess you'll get the same idea. I think Chris only wants a girl to pick up a transformer because he thinks some girl was gonna see this, take his advice, use it, buy the transformer, eventually talk to Chris, and then Chris would get to play with that transformer once the girl and him were together. Then Chris says that it's a lot, like he tries to I guess guilt trip them. Ladies, you need to talk to the man first, because once again, this is a problem very close to Chris in that he can't talk to women. He can't go up and say hi to women. So he always said he needed women to come up to him. Chris's idea of how relationships work to him was that any woman or most women he liked should have come up to him and said hi, and they should have introduced themselves, and then Chris could have gone from there. But like I said, you're taking advice from Chris here. It's clear that he doesn't know the first thing about attraction or human interaction in general.
And also with the Autobots, well, it's a vehicle where you can drive down that imaginary fast lane.
Now he's just saying shit. I guess just drive it and drive down the fast lane. I don't know.
But in any case, while few people may ridicule you, you should not worry about it, because most everybody will be totally okay with it, because it won't matter. It won't matter because they see you enjoying it, and that's totally cool if you're enjoying it. So you enjoy it, just do it. Don't worry about other people's opinions.
Oh, very soon in Chris's life would he begin to care about the opinions of thousands, and he'd try to ignore them if he could.
Because compared to the other school, those people who disregard you are just total peanuts. And I'm not talking Charlie Brown, I'm talking about the little nuts, with the shells. The real peanut gallery. That would be peanuts, wouldn't it? Also keep in mind that while you're playing with these things, you should keep in mind of what your true original gender is. Because it's like you're learning about that girl you want to take on a date, young man. Or likewise, you feel more comfortable to approach that boy just saying hello that you've been checking out from a distance, young lady.
So just a minute ago, Chris said, don't care about what other people say about you playing with toys while in high school and comparing that to trying to get a girlfriend. There's nothing funny about that. People will agree with you and feel you. But when it comes to gender identities, fuck no, young man and young lady.
And hopefully in due time or now, each and every one of you will stay straight. Girl for boy, boy for girl. Everything else is vice, as said by Dr. Kinsey. Not just for me, not for the big man upstairs, not for your family, but do it for yourself and for the benefits of everyone in the future. Your children, your children's children. And besides, if you stray away from the straight path, it can really jeopardize the entire future of the world and the human race.
Yeah, we've come from Chris saying, don't get off the straight path. If you get off the straight path, you could really jeopardize the world and everything going on. And now the world's in jeopardy no matter what, because Chris and the dimensional merge is going to, split the dimensions. So no matter what happened, I guess, Chris's 15-year-old message, you could have done whatever you wanted. Chris foresaw this 15 years ago. He could have told us then. Just a lot of plot holes here, Chris. A lot of plot holes you need to fill in here because this doesn't make no sense. I'm starting to think this whole dimensional merge thing is a bunch of hubbubaloo.
Also, girls and ladies, don't just go over gaga over the handsome rich boys and men because they may turn out to be disrespectful and distasteful in their personality. You should take into consideration all the other gentlemen that you may have considered that may be less attractive or equally, less or moderately, because they will likely have a better personality that you will generally enjoy and like, and they may end up having a brighter future for themselves. Like, look at me now. I'm shooting this movie for a DVD. That I hope will be shown in a couple of schools at least.
God, he's such a piece of shit. I fucking love how he makes it known. Listen, ladies, you need to look at the more like uglier guys. You can't be just going for all rich dudes and like handsome dudes. You gotta like look at guys like me. I love how he specified ladies too, because the guys like Chris should never have to look at anyone except for a supermodel type woman. But ladies, you just gotta settle for Chris here, because honestly, dudes with money and dudes with like all that shit, like a good looking guy, he doesn't have nothing compared to Chris. Like, and this was the real mentality that motherfucker had. So, shit, man, like, he's always been out of it. Chris has never really had, like, a good grasp on, like, reality in general and how just you are supposed to fucking act. But, yeah, yeah. That's such a weird thing to say, because how Chris feels. He's said it for years that he thinks he deserves like a pretty. He's made it known before. He wants a specific weight. He wants like specific things, and the girl should be willing to make do for Chris's needs. But don't, if you're a guy, according to Chris, just I'm sorry, if you're a girl, you just take what you can get. I also love how he talks about how he's like kind of brags that I'm making a movie right now, and I'm hoping that it'll be played in some schools around the country. Like, first off, no school would ever post the contents on this videotape to their students. So
Now, also, when each and every one of you has a true general understanding of the opposite gender, and after finding that special man, ladies, or that special girl, gentlemen, always keep to heart and memory the times that you two felt most attracted to each other, because that will be a key point to the recovery from any disputes or arguments that you two might have in the future. Otherwise, you two would just be darn happy with each other. But it's not always going to be peaches and cream or strawberry shortcakes.
So this is the first time I've ever watched this future message video from Chris, and I find out now his future message is basically just relationship advice from a man who's never been in a relationship, and all the advice comes from shit he's seen off of movies and I guess television shows. So yeah, this is basically just relationship advice and what Chris thinks women should do for men.
And also remember, you two should keep each other, because there will be nobody else, no matter how much you think about it, nobody else that can replace that special someone, him for her or her for him. There's just nobody else. There's no substitute for that first one.
I guess he's saying that based off of his like want to find a mate and then have like the first one he finds be like the one he stays with forever, so he doesn't have to keep looking. But I wonder too if a lot of his relationship, like his inlooks on it and the takes he has from it, come from his relationship with his parents and how he sees their relationship. But the thing is, for him to say, you gotta be with the one you're with at first, Bob was in other marriages. Barb had kids with other men, so I'm not quite sure, like, if that's a very true statement, Chris. Nonetheless, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be true in your family's case at all, but I digress. Let's move on.
And now, I leave you with the lessons that I hope you have learned from my message. You should stay in school, learn as you much, and try before you praise or despise. Never smoke, never drink, never worry about how others think of you when you do things, or when you play with things that may not seem like you or whatever. Don't be afraid to approach those of your opposite gender. And most importantly, please stay straight. I leave you with those words as I have shared with you on this, my 25th birthday, February 24th, 2007. I am Christopher Christian Weston Chandler. Live long and shine on in your very own unique way. War is never the answer. Peace is. Never fight. Compliments will get you fuzzy wuzzies. War gets you prickly wicklies, as well as punches that get you those too. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.
Okay, so I'll be honest, the little war line at the end there is kind of creepy considering what just happened yesterday. However, times like that's just a coincidence. I don't think Chris predicted that, but maybe he did. Maybe Chris did know what was going on even 15 years ago. But yeah, another thing Chris says at the end there is, guys, make sure you stay on the straight path. It's important for our future. You could jeopardize our whole future if you don't stay on the straight path. So it's good to see that Chris is still following that rule nowadays too. There's just a whole bunch in this fucking video. Chris is a completely different person now, clearly, as it was 15 years ago on his 25th birthday. And yeah, that's one of the first big Chris videos I think that like people started using to kind of mess with him, because you can see it just in that video there. Chris has no fucking idea about none of the shit he's talking about. All his relationship talk is just, like I said, it seems like pie in the sky shit that like maybe like a kid would say. I don't know, man. I'm too stoned, and I'm celebrating my Christian love day with a heart-shaped nug in my bowl, and that's how I plan to spend the rest of it. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens with Chris. We'll have to see if any new letters come out about him and his birthday, how he reacted and what he did. But shit, man. Yeah, Chris Chan is 40 years old. That's weird to say. But I'm going to get out of here now. I'm going to move on with my day. I'm going to probably go out, do some errands, and yeah, and just chill. So I want to give a shout out to Holly, Sky, Krabby, your mom. You guys are goats. Thank y'all for all the support, and thank all of y'all for all the support. Like I always say, it means a lot. And yeah, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you guys have a good Christian love day too. Remember to go find somebody, and then, never, like, for the first person you find, never let them go, because you'll never find anybody better than that first person you see. I guess. I don't know, Chris. You're just always talking some nut shit. But stay safe, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.